today talking about some planters, and it is beginning of summer now, so we've done just a ton of planters this year, but now I've just got some leftovers, and I've got some really cool ideas from some of my clients. You know, they pick the plants sometimes, and so it gives me some ideas. So I'm just going to try to piece together a planter today with some of the leftovers that we have in a way, but it should be nice. So we've got a big planter here, and this is a Lechuza planter. I have the drains out of it because some of them are self-watering, but this one I've taken the drain plugs out, so it's just going to drain normally. This one I think is about 22 inches by 22 inches. Still, you know, as far as planters go, I kind of like them as big as possible, up to 30 inches or so. So I'm just going to put some more soil in here. I put a little bit of, I had some composted wood chips that I put in the bottom just as a filler, because I didn't want to use my potting soil, it's more expensive. So I always put about maybe 6 inches of just the composted wood chips in the bottom. Remember, don't use any raw wood chips, not good for the plants. And just going to take some scoops of soil here. Okay, we're going to start to put some plants in here. I didn't fill it all the way to the top because I'm going to put some plants in first, rearrange them a little bit, and then I'm going to fill around them with some more soil. But next step is to use a little bit of granular fertilizer. So I usually use the coated slow release planter and hanging basket food. And this sort of looks a little bit like this. And this is a 14-14-14 product. And what I usually do is I just try to get a rough idea of how much I put in there. I use the container cap. I'm just going to put a pretty good amount in there. I need a little more than that, about that much. So almost 2 full container lids for this size of a pot. It's about the equivalency of about 3/4 of a coffee cup full or so. So now I'm just going to mix that in a little bit, mix it in sort of in that middle layer. Fertilizer is always going to work their way down in the pot as we go. I'm just going to add a little more soil. Okay, now we're going to add some plants. These are the really giant canna lilies. These things can get about 8 feet tall, this purple one. Usually hold them by the stem and tap the pot on the side. And that'll take the pot off. You can see sort of the plant there. I gotta loosen up these roots a little. They're just super tight in here. So I want them to get out and get in contact with the surrounding soil. So I'm just kind of, this is what they call teasing the roots apart. And this, when it gets in contact with the soil, it can actually start to take water from the soil. If you don't do this, the plant will tend to dry out super fast. It always takes about 10 days for your planters to sort of root in a bit, and then they can start surviving a little more on their own. But I'm going to sort of put this off about 1/3 to the corner to the back side of this particular planter, and I want it about 1 inch from the surface, so that's about where that one's going to sit. I also have a couple other kind of cool plants I'm going to put in. These are predominantly foliage planters, so we don't want to use too many flowering plants, just a couple, but foliage is so much nicer to work with. So I'm just going to pop these in like this, little Salvail plant, like so. I'm going to have one of these Mexican grasses. These are Stipa grass. I think they've changed the botanical name on this one already. So I didn't have to loosen up the roots on the Salvail because they really don't need much water or anything. They just kind of survive. So they're not too picky, but any of these plants that are kind of a bit root bound, I got to loosen up that root a little bit. So we're going to put this one over on this side. Sort of like this. Now this planter is designed to be viewed from the front, sort of the front angle. So I tip the plant a little bit so it hangs to the side. Now I just have to find another plant to put in here. This plant is going to be part sun, part shade. So I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm just going to see what we have left over here. I think I want just a little bit of glue in there. So I'm going to use a few of these little salvias. This is an annual salvia. So I'm using 3 plants, swapping them out, loosening up the root a little, tweaking them like that, and then popping them in right in the middle here. I know they're going to shoot up and be a little bit tall, so I'm just putting them in as if it was one plant sort of thing in the middle. Now I got my key thriller plant, which is going to be most of my color, which is a little petunia. I'll put the name of this one in the video. That's quite a beauty. We're just going to pop this one sort of dead center here, right in the middle, about there. And we're going to use some of these. These are little philodendrons. These ones I think are called lemon lime. These are sort of more shady than they are sunny, but I kind of like that little splash of yellow in there. Put one on each side. It's for our spiller. It's going to spill over the edges a little bit. And let's see what else we have. We're going to find ourselves. Let's see. Let's see what colors we got going there. Kind of difficult to see what's going on. I don't want this to be too shady, but I need to get a little bit more sort of a purplish tone in there. So I might be adding some plants to this one as we go. So, and we got some begonias in there. We don't really want those. We've got some of these salvias. This is a really cool one. I'm just going to put this on the one side and possibly in the back corner here because I want it to sort of shoot up. This is another salvia. This one is a Proven Winners one. It's called Rock and Deep Purple Salvia. It's a hybrid. And these things really take off. I like using up the old plants at the end of the season, end of the planting season. It's not like we're late or anything. We're actually right on time. I just want this one to shoot up and just give me a little bit more height on this side. And I need just a little bit of a trailing plant. I have some verbena here. I think it's kind of a salmon-y color. I'm not sure that'll work. Let's see what else we have. The pink and the salmon don't really work. I don't know, do they?
No.
Not really. No. We'll leave that one up for now. And we'll add a little more. Purple. White, green, like these. Good. White is one of the best colors to put in a planter because it's the brightest color. I'm just going to pop that in. Just give us a little sort of medium height. Wouldn't mind to have a little more cascading plants hanging over the edge, like some dichondra or the golden moneywort. I'm just going to see if I have any. That's good. But even this color would go pretty nice in there too. We could maybe fit it in there. It's a little more flower than what I normally would put in there, but I'm just going to set that one there for now. But this is just a real quick sort of using up the plants at the end of the planting season. We have more plants out at our greenhouse. We might, like I say, I like the Lismachia nummularia aurea. That's the golden moneywort. It's nice to add into these. And dichondra, which is a really good one. Yeah, we have some just over here in the planting area. Just filling in the gaps, and then we're good to go. All right. Let's see now. The other tip I give is to tilt the plants forward so that they hang towards the edge a little bit. That's often a good idea. This little plant's got to stand up. There we go. Now we'll give this thing a good watering. See if we can let it relax for a little bit and kind of get its shape back up. But that's a couple more tips on planting planters, and hopefully you learned a little bit here today. And we'll always have a lot more videos coming up on planters, so stay tuned for more. Thanks for tuning in. GrowCoach.com.